Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little back to school series and I'm going to be starting it off with one that I got requested, which is freshman advice. I honestly think this could go to anyone going back to school, but I am going to make it more towards anybody who's barely starting out high school, who just promoted from 8th grade and is on their way to freshman year. I'm going to be a junior this upcoming year, and I think I know a little bit of what you should expect from high school and some just tips and advice overall, just to not be so scared, not be so nervous, because it really isn't something that you should be worrying about right now. It's something I think you should be more excited more than anything. So let's go ahead and start off what you should expect on your first day of school. I came from a really small middle school, probably around 500 to 600 students, and my high school had close to 3,000. So definitely it's a big change going from middle school to high school because there's so many more people and so many more ages. I went in as a freshman barely turning 14, and you might be in a class that has a 17 or 18-year-old that's in the same grade level as you, or it might not even be in the same grade level. You might be like in a health class and you might have a senior in there and you're a freshman. A little bit weird getting used to the fact that you're going to be in classes with people that are much older than you. Another concern I think you might be having is, will I fit in? Even if you feel like there's nobody out there that's just like you, that you might not get along with anybody, trust me, there is a type of group for everything, and you will probably find your place somewhere in there. Hopefully you are starting off high school with friends from middle school that are coming with you, so you know some people already. I know I didn't know anyone pretty much because, like, in most occasions certain middle schools are closer to certain high schools, and that's where most of the people end up going to. I lived really far from the high school that was close to my middle school, so I didn't go to that one. And it was really intimidating not knowing anyone. I literally only knew one person from my middle school that came to my high school, and luckily I had him in 2 classes my freshman year, and I literally like screamed when I saw him, because it's comforting to know somebody. If you don't know anybody, you will find somebody that you will talk to maybe the first few days of school, because you're not the only one in the position of not knowing somebody. There's probably a few other people in your class that are like completely scared and don't know anybody and wish they had somebody to talk to. You're not the only one in that place, and you guys will probably click. They might need paper, they might ask you for something, you might need a partner, you might have to get the guts and ask somebody, and you might end up actually really liking that person and becoming friends with them. Another big thing is friends. How do you make friends in high school? It really is with the attitude you go into high school with. If you already have it in your mind like, I am not talking to anybody, I don't care, you probably won't make friends if you're not putting the same effort. You get things out of what you put into. You honestly have to have the right mindset going into high school. Making friends on the first day, asking questions. Another way that everyone will tell you is to join something, a club, a sport, and an after-school activity. Those are great ways to not just do something you enjoy, but meet new people along the way. It's not the only way you can make friends, especially if you know you don't have time to do that, if you know you can't do that. Don't be scared of like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make friends, because that's not the only way. Obviously you're going to be talking to people in your class because you're going to see them almost every day. Eventually you're going to become friends with them, you'll exchange numbers, and everything will be fine. In my opinion, it is a big difference going from middle school to high school because of all the amounts of people there are and the types of people there are. There are so many who might be like in a band, you know, all these lives outside of school. You know, it's nice to meet people like that. But you will also come across the people who do things you might not agree with. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It just depends on the type of person you are. You can try your hardest to stay away from those people. There will eventually be, you know, that friend you have that's friends with a person who does do something that you don't like, and you guys will somehow end up hanging out. Or you might really like this person who's really awesome, really nice, but you know, in their spare time or after school they do those things that you don't like. Just as long as you're not being involved with them in those ways that you don't like, and they're not trying to convince you, like doing things that you were never comfortable with, I think you'll be fine. We'll come across those people who talk about it all the time, like, bruh, I got so drunk last night. You hear like the craziest things people say, but it's really up to you who you hang out with, because even if you think that everyone does something and you're the only one who doesn't do that, trust me, there are people there who are just like you, who have the same morals as you and values. Okay, now I'm going all over the place, but going back to the first day of school. First day of school is probably just like any other first day of school. You will probably be really lost to your classes, but the school understands that and they give you that extra little time to get to your class. They probably won't count you tardy. You will probably just have have a lot of papers to get signed that day by your parents, so don't expect that you're gonna be working full on that day. Except math teachers, they always do that. They always give you homework on the first day. But in general, it'll just be like any other first day, loaded with papers and things to get signed and rules to go over. So that's not really something you should be worrying about. You might even do those little like scavenger hunts or getting to know each other. So you have to go around the classroom and like talk about yourself or ask people about themselves, which is scary. I'm not gonna lie, that's scary, especially if you're shy. But have to overcome it and go in with the mentality that, you know, this is your time to be a new person you've always wanted to be. If you always wanted to be, you know, a little bit more outgoing and a little bit more talkative, this can be your chance. So take it as a new opportunity to be a new you inside and also on the outside. If you've always wanted to dress a certain way, you know, go for it. This is your chance to be the person you want to be now. Another thing is makeup. I think high school is the perfect time to start wearing makeup if you always wanted to wear makeup. Something natural. I know I started off with like mascara, concealer, and powder. Some days I would not wear anything, but when you try and look your best, that is when you feel your best and you have the most confidence. So I've always been the type of person who doesn't really care about their appearance but never also feels confident. Then maybe try, you know, changing up your style a little, being a little bit more fancy, and you never know if you get that little confident boost. There's nothing wrong with going a little bit dressed up to school. You can also have your lazy days. They're so popular, you know, just wear your sweatpants and your t-shirt, throw your hair in a cute bun, and you'll be okay too. Another thing are parties. You might get invited to some. And honestly, again, just don't do the things you are not okay with. Have fun. There's so many ways to have fun. You don't have to give in to people who do certain things you don't like to have fun. You know, if you don't want to go, if you don't want to be around that, then don't go. Hang out with your friends somewhere else and you're gonna have as much fun. Another thing is homework. Is there a lot of homework? I honestly think that yes, there is more work. You're getting older, you're getting smarter, you will get more work handed to you as your classes get harder, but it's not something you can't handle. Your teachers are not going to give you something you can't handle. As long as you don't procrastinate and leave things to the last minute, which I know we all tend to do. I did that a lot. You have to try your best to manage your time wisely, because why be in the weekend stuck at home doing your homework when you can be out with friends? And it's a feeling we all want when everything is done and we can enjoy ourselves for the weekend instead of worrying about projects that are due the next day. Again, be a new you. Don't procrastinate as much. Stay organized. I know I always would use a little magnet with like a little notepad. I would use this and just put the date and then put all my classes and put a little dash next to all my classes, and then I would put my homework after every single class. I would write down if I had any homework. You don't even need that. You can just use a regular notebook piece of paper, fold that in fourths, and use a square each day and just write down your homework for each class. Trust me, this will help you out so much. You won't forget what you have for homework that night, and you don't have to worry about the consequences of not doing your homework, because in high school things do change when you don't do your homework. So in middle school, some teachers are lenient. They'll let you turn in your homework late and you'll just maybe get some points deducted. But in high school, some teachers will write you up for not having your homework. In my school, they Thursday or Friday school, which you stay after school to finish work you haven't done, or you won't even get a chance to turn it in. If you don't do your homework the day it's due, you might just get an automatic 0, which is not fair. There are more standardized tests you have to take for high school, and take everything seriously. These grades are now counting towards you. They're contributing to your college scores. These are the scores that are going to be in your record that colleges are going to be looking at after. Don't freak out about college though, you guys, right now, even though I'm talking about it, but just know, take things seriously, because they matter now. They really do, because schools look at these scores and they determine so many things for you for your future. So just know, take this seriously, try your best. I always made sure I turned in everything. I'm not the type of person to not do a homework assignment just because I don't want to. That's never been me. But if you know you're like that and you might have forgotten an assignment and you remember like the night before it's due and you're like, you know, whatever, I'm not gonna do this, try your best to do it, even if you have to do it in between classes before you get to your actual class, or do it in the morning, wake up early. Try and do it during lunch, anywhere you can. I did this all the time. I would work on homework that was due for another class during lunchtime. So if that's the case, do that, but try your best to do it the night before, because you will get the best sleep when you know you don't have to be worrying about work that's due that same day you're working on it. So that's just a little tip to stay organized. Keep your backpack, everything neat. Write down your homework down the day you receive it. Next thing is dating. You will see people who date, you know, a freshman dating a senior, or vice versa, person dating a junior. People are there just in general older than you, and it's not really something that is odd at this age. Maybe in middle school, if you knew that, you'd be like, whoa, what? But in high school, it is common to see people dating each other because you know, you have these people in your classes that are older than you. It's up to you to decide who you're gonna be dating in high school. There might be guys or girls that come up to you that are interested in you. You know when are warning signs. You know probably what their intentions are. Just always remember who you are as a person. On public dates where, you know, the mall, who you like isn't something that should take away from you. I mean, it just happens. You are around these people all the time. So there's nothing wrong with liking somebody who's older than you or dating somebody who's older than you. Just remember who you are as a person, how far you want to go, and what things you don't want to do. And just in general, be polite. Be polite to your teachers. Try and always be on their good side. Don't get in trouble. You might see fights that might break out in the hallway. If you are watching it and not doing anything about it, but also letting it happen, which is never okay. Also bullying, which can be a huge issue. If it's happening to you or somebody you know, always report it. Stand up for yourself. Not in a violent way, but stand up for yourself. Know that what they're telling you, they're just trying to hurt you for their own reasons, and sometimes you can't change a person, but you can definitely stop it, ignore it, and do something about it. Never be the bully, you guys. Don't be mean to people. Some people, yeah, they can be a little bit rude, but there are so many more people out there who want to talk with somebody, want to be friends with somebody, want to meet new people and make new friends. Again, if you're being bullied, report it to somebody. It is so common to report things now. Don't be afraid for telling an adult of what's happening. That is honestly the mature thing to do. There's nothing wrong with reporting something that isn't right. If you are really worried about who you're gonna sit with in the cafeteria, I know I was so scared my first few days of school because I thought I wasn't gonna know anybody and thought it was gonna be the most awkward thing. I luckily, like I told you, I had my friend, like the only friend that I knew from middle school that came to my high school. I had him in my lunch class, so I was so happy for that. There was also like days where we test and everyone goes to like different testing rooms. I know sometimes I wouldn't know anybody in there. I would always freak out about who am I gonna sit with, and I would just have to have the guts and just find a table where, you know, you see a girl who might also be lonely, just be like, hey, can I sit here? And she's probably just gonna be like yes, unless she says like her friends are coming, then it's a little bit awkward. But you know, you will find somebody that will just be like, yeah, sure, sit down, and that's it. It's over. Eat your food, try and make a conversation with them. Also get excited because there are more options to eat in the cafeteria. You're not just gonna get your regular lunch food line. Now there's like a pizza line, you might have like a burrito line, American food line. There's so many different lines you can choose from. And I think that is pretty much all I have to say. Once again, I'll just summarize it for you guys. Take this as a way to be the person you want to be, that you've always been afraid to be. Friendly, be polite, try and talk with people, make friends, be involved, you know, go to your football games, they're really fun, you know, get some friends to go with you. Stay organized and stay positive. Again, it's with the mindset that you go in high school with, that is what you're gonna get out of it. So as long as you are doing your best to having a great school year, you will be fine. You will survive high school. I did it myself. I went in knowing nobody, being really shy, but I've come a long way. You know, you're still young, try and enjoy every single day. You will have so many more moments in life when you're older, so don't think this is what's gonna define you, because it's not. You're still trying to find yourself, you're still trying to grow as a person. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know any other requests down below for back to school videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Bye!